My name is Todd Andrus. I'm actually located with Pacific Power. I'm located down in Klamath Falls area, and I've had the pleasure of being able to kind of MC these little shows that we're doing for the irrigation community today. And traditionally, I would get out here and talk to you a little bit about the 75 or 750,000 customers we serve in the state of Oregon, Washington, and California. The $1.2 billion we're going to be investing in wildfire to help secure our lines and protect the forests, obviously. About the just under $600 million that we've saved in the California Energy Imbalance Market since 2014. It's something that we're very proud of. But I was also raised by some irrigators myself. And my mother would say, cut to the chase, let's get going, Todd. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to cut to the chase and get going and talk to you guys about some opportunities that you may choose to take advantage of. We've got two different groups that are going to speak to you today, one from Connect Energy and one from the Energy Trust of Oregon. And I will be introducing them here in a moment. But one question I think maybe you're wondering, why do we do this? Why would a power company come in and say, hey, this is ways for you to save money? And there's two reasons I would tell you. One is the state kind of asks us to do this, so we do it. But the second, and I think it's the more important reason, is if you took 10 homes, okay, and we have to build an infrastructure to power those 10 homes, and we got each home to save 10% on their energy bill, each homeowner would save money, and we could add an 11th home with the same infrastructure. That also saves you money because we don't have to build more power lines, we don't have to build more powerhouses, if you would think that way. And so it's important for us to get out here and explain to you these opportunities, and hopefully you take advantage of them. Because our efforts are for you to save money, because we want you to be a healthy, strong customer for us for the years to come. But it also helps us, let's not kid. Okay, it does also help Pacific Power. Okay? What I'm going to do is introduce our first speaker from Connected Energy. So Terry, come on up. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon. Welcome. My name is Terry. I am from Connected Energy, and Jim is with me as well. And we have been asked by Pacific Power, they've partnered with us to provide a program that benefits irrigators like yourself, but it also benefits the utility, and it benefits the community and even the planet a little bit. When we talk about the benefits to you as an irrigator, we're talking primarily about the ability to reduce your electric bill in the form of not rebates, but billing credits. They will be issued at the end of each year, and they are based on your participation and contribution to the overall program. So this is an opportunity. Other farmers have taken advantage of this, where they can save money and improve the profitability of their business. The benefit to the utility, Pacific Power, is that it reduces pressure on the overall capacity, the purchase of capacity of energy. And if you're familiar with how electricity works, the major challenge is it's difficult to store. And so during peak usages, if everybody used the same amount every hour throughout the year, it'd be a very easy problem. But there are very peak times, and those peaks are often very steep, and they're very expensive. And the utility has to pre-purchase capacity in order to deliver that energy during that peak hour. And so there has to be enough, power plants and solar and wind, everything stacked up to meet that peak, the capacity. But if you can take that peak and shift it a few hours, because oftentimes it's around the hottest day or different contributors, that you can shift it 2 or 3 or 4 hours, you can reduce the maybe half a dozen peaks that happen during a season and reduce the overall capacity pressure on the utility. So it benefits them. It benefits the community because it reduces a little bit of the pressure on the rising cost of energy because you have less power plants to build as part of the system. Of course, it helps the planet because you have less generation capacity that you need to worry about. Even clean energy, whether it's solar or wind, has an impact. It's just cleaner than fossil fuel, but it still has an impact on the environment. And it'd be better for all of us if we could work together, all receive benefits, and optimize that flow of electricity, and so to benefit those four parties. It's always good when you can do something that benefits you that also benefits somebody else. I have 4 children, and one of the things or 3 children, one of the things I instilled in them is that it'll help you if you understand human nature. Most people think about what benefits them or what they're participating in the most. And so for you as irrigators, you're probably most concerned about your business. How will this affect my business? How can I save money but still have the same outcome, the same results? And hundreds and thousands of farmers have done this across the U.S. And so this program started off as a pilot in Oregon, and then primarily in the Klamath Falls area, but it's being rolled out as a program across Oregon, and then also into Washington and beginning in Northern California as well. There are brochures on the table over there that you can pick up. You can also go to the website. I think it's pacificpower.net/irrigation, and you can find out information about this particular program. As we get started, I'd like to ask just a few questions. We're a small group. How many of you is irrigation, which is I would call the unnatural flow or the assisted flow of water, critical for the success of your business? Right? Now, there are many ways that this can be done. It can be done through gravity, it can be done through diesel, it can be done through pressure, but it also can be done with pumps that are run from electricity. So how many of you are dependent on Pacific Power, the electric company, for the irrigation, the movement of water? So a critical component of your business is Pacific Power. You're partnered with them in your endeavor. And so when it comes to your crops or your livestock, in fact, let's ask this question. How many of you are primarily livestock? And how many of you are primarily crop-based? Both, there you go, very good. And of the crops, if we were to do it fruit, vegetable, and then other, how many of you are fruit? Orchards, okay, vegetables, like market vegetables, and how about more like corn or wheat or something for hay? Okay, very good. All right, so we have different types of irrigation, different irrigation needs, and depending upon what crop you have attached to the irrigation, you're going to have different needs. We do work for folks in the South, and rice obviously has a different profile than wheat in terms of the irrigation that's required. And obviously orchards are a different thing as well. What the program does is it has options that are adaptable to each particular crop. And so you can take each pump, and you can stick it in the program, and you can decide, first of all, if you want it to be in the program or not, and then what program type. And then you always have the option, I need to repeat this many times just so you feel at ease, you always have the option to opt out. So everything we're talking about is of benefit, but if you need to run your business and that pump has to run, you can opt out. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Irrigation load control program. We're talking about irrigation, we're talking about the remote control of that irrigation system. And primarily it's a pump. And what the program is the utility at no expense to you will put a device attached to your pump where they can monitor the usage of the pump and control the pump, turn it on and off. They will have that capability, and you will have that same capability. So you'll be able to see whether that pump is running remotely or not from a phone, from a tablet, from your desktop. The utility, you can control at any time and view at any time. The utility is confined to control it only within the parameters of the program. What are the program benefits? First of all, there are financial incentives, and they can be quite lucrative. We have a table that you can look at, which shows based on the horsepower of your pump and how much you run it during the season, there are incentives up to almost $10,000 a year per pump. Now, that's a very large pump that's running a lot. But it tiers down, but they can be significant, and the more pumps you have in, and the larger pumps they are, those are the ones that consume more electricity and are better contributors to being able to, if they shift, it's more load off the electrical system or the grid that shifts. It's easy. It's zero cost. So we're not selling something to you by asking for your money. What we're asking for you is to participate in a program that will save you money, but the utility will shift or move your irrigation several times during the year within the program, during a couple peak times. But it's easy to participate. In addition to the general table, we have very specific information about your particular pumps. So we have the electrical usage here. You can see Jim afterwards. He can look exactly at your pumps, the horsepower, the profile, how much they've been running the last 2 years, and you can look at what your incentive might be based on the last 2 years. You don't have to use the last 2 years. Sometimes we rotate crops and there's different things that happen from year to year, but you need to understand the parameters because in order to get the incentives, while there's no penalty if you don't contribute, there's also no incentive. So we're looking for folks who can contribute, and therefore that's how you earn the incentive. So you want to understand your profile before you sign up the program, your opportunity. Okay, low touch, meaning if you calculate how many hours there are in a year and how much your irrigation capabilities are, it's substantial, but the program is limited to 52 hours per season. And generally the season goes close to the beginning of June to mid-September. There's some exact rules we'll go over so you can know the exact dates. High satisfaction, we'll talk a little bit about some testimonials, people who've been in the program, in the pilot program, and what they had to say about the program, but we have very high repeat and increasing per participant, where they might put one pump in just to test the program, and then when they see the benefits, they put all of their pumps in the program. In fact, based on their feedback, we've even made modifications to the program while it was a pilot before we roll it out across Oregon. It's customized, which means that you have program options to choose from. It helps with overall grid reliability. There is only so much capacity. So if everybody would use all the electricity they possibly could, there would not be enough generation. So we all are in this together in the sense that the grid needs to be managed so that we can all have it available when we all want it. Reduces carbon footprint, talked about that. Talked about your ability to do control. You can opt out. This farmer portal is a software portal that allows you to visually see your pump geographically where it's at. So there's a map. You can see all your pumps on one big map. You can see them on mini maps compared to one another. You can see if they're currently running. You can see the short-term run profile. You can see and query longer data to see how your pump was performing or running. But also gives you the ability to start and stop. So from a phone, you can just go down, bing, start your pump, bing, stop your pump. This is important when it comes to an event. You'll be notified. You can go to the app and see if there's an event running, but more importantly, the notifications will come to you via a text or email. And the program itself, the options are based on the notification. There's a 20-minute ahead notification. That means the utility will notify you 20 minutes in advance that they need to run an event, and therefore you can take action. That's the highest value. You get the most money back on that program because it's a fairly short notification. There's an hour ahead and there's a day ahead. Most people in the program are 20-minute or an hour ahead. We've had day aheads that moved all the way up to 20 because the incentives are more than double going from day ahead to 20 minutes ahead. And what they've found out is, well, if they get notification and the pump gets turned off, they have the capability to quickly adjust and make up for that by controlling the pump remotely using the Farmer Portal. The Farmer Portal also has some other features, weather overlays, and some different things that make it kind of useful, particularly if you have maybe a pump that's isolated and you currently don't have the capability to know if it's running or not, or be able to remotely control it. You get all this functionality free of charge, part of the program. Who's eligible? Those who are on Schedule 41 or 48 in Oregon. Now, I know we're in Oregon, not Washington, but some operations are big enough that they have locations in multiple states. How are you compensated? Well, here is the details. And all these, once again, are on the website and they're in the brochures. $45 per kilowatt on the 20-minute notification. $30 per kilowatt on the hour ahead, and $18 on the day ahead. It's important to know that if you opt out, there's no penalty, there's no fee that you'll pay, but your incentive might be less. So if you sign up for the program, you might be thinking, wow, I'll just sign up all my pumps for my program and opt out of everything. It sounds like a great free program. Well, you won't get incentives if you do that because you're not really contributing anything. So it's a two-way thing. You're getting money and you're contributing. And the contribution is, so if you opt out, let's say there's 5 events, and normally there's been somewhere between 4 and 6 events that run up to 4 hours, and usually they run between 6 and 4 and 8 or 4 to 10 in the evening, at late afternoon, evening. But if you opt out, you will get pro rata percentage will be taken off your incentive, but you can make that decision. It's important for me to have irrigation now. I don't want to participate, I opt out. The more pumps you enroll with the program, so it's not per customer, it's per pump, and it's actually per pump per kilowatt out, per kilowatt, per horsepower actually. The incentives are issued annually in the form of billing credits. John and Marlene Bless gave a great testimonial. They were interviewed by the Capital Press, and so if you search the internet, you can find the full article. It's also on the Pacific Power site. They moved from California to Oregon, got a larger farm, started off with 1 pump and then increasing the participation in the program and also upping the ways in which they participate in the program. So they're very happy with the program. There are many farmers, thousands, who are in this program nationwide. So I guess I would say that to you, probably the biggest objection we get is this is a critical asset. It's irrigation for my crops or for my livestock. How could I possibly let somebody else control it? And sometimes you step back, and from a business standpoint, it actually makes sense as long as you understand that you're still in control and it can work, and it does work. Others like you are saving money on their electric bill annually. So in summary, there are 3 options: day ahead, hour ahead, 20-minute ahead. You have the ability to opt out with no penalty. The maximum length of a curtailment is 4 hours, and there can only be 1 in a day. The maximum number of events per year is 20, so it's capped at that. I can say historically it's always been somewhere between 4 and 6, but you need to be aware it could be 20. The total number of hours per year is capped at 52. The season technically starts with the week that includes June 1. So if June 1's on a Friday, there's some days in late May that are included. And then the same, the week that includes September 15th. The hours are anywhere after 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. You can see $45, $30, or $18 per kilowatt. There's no more than 1 a day and no more than 12 event hours per week. So if you think of how many hours you can irrigate, 24 times 7, it's limited to 12 of those. And then to be eligible, we like to have pumps that are 25 horsepower or larger. There is money that is invested in equipment and service to come out and install, and obviously software costs to use the application that the utility bears. And so they're looking for at least 25 horsepower. Now, if you have 2 or 3 pumps and some of them are over 25 and some of them are close or 20 or over, talk to us and we can work them into the program. But that's what we're looking for. Run time, at least 200 hours during the dispatch season. So we're looking at pumps that do run. If you enroll a pump and it runs one season, but you swap it out, the next season it doesn't, there's no penalty. You just won't get benefit if it doesn't run 200 hours. So it's a program that was put together thoughtfully. It's been around since 2016 in Oregon. It's been much longer in other areas of the U.S., and it's here for your benefit.
we truly want your success. That makes our success. So have a great irrigation season and have a successful season. Thank you so much. We really appreciate everything. Thank you.